driving like a rocket, while a true even builds up their own momentum. Keep those engines roaring, folks. The race is off to a thrilling start. Ario Serial is leading the pack, showing some impressive speed right out of the gate. US Johnson is close behind, just a second away, and looking to capitalize on any mistake from the leader. Sabine 27 isn't far back either, maintaining pace and ready for an opportunity to strike. This could be anyone's race, and it's going to be exciting to see how this unfolds. Famaka has made a significant move, advancing to power after successfully overtaking Sabine 27. Meanwhile, there is an intense battle for 7 between Koki Beninity, B4L3, and Jasak 72, with all three cars closely vying for position. Additionally, the man has gained ground, now in pen after overtaking both Okayoki 3 and Wimplo. The race dynamics are shifting as drivers jockey for position throughout the field. Avelbok said, "Hey Amy, please give us a nice intro to the race by singing Lou Bega. Mambo no 5. But replace the girls' names with the cars and brands starting on this racer." Haha, that's a creative idea. Okay, here goes. Musical notes: a little bit of Mercedes in my life. A little bit of Mazda's what I see. A little bit of Caparo's all I need. A little bit of Ferraris makes me free. A little bit of Pagani in the sun. A little bit of Koenigsegg on the run. A little bit of Lamborghini stylin'. A little Bugatti got me smilin'. Musical notes. And that's the lineup for today's race. Let's see how these beauties perform on the track. Racing car dashing away. Ha ha, Gary might just be trying to impress us with his pit exit donuts. I mean, who doesn't love a little show-off moment? Hope you come back stronger next time, Gary. Emin-san has gained a position, now in Pate after overtaking the man. The man has retaliated, moving up to P9 by passing Jasak 72. Meanwhile, Captain Potato has advanced to P12, successfully overtaking Just Jazik. The race is tightening as positions shift. Sabine 27 and La Crosse 1980 are locked in a fierce battle for 5, trading paint as they maneuver through the corners. Meanwhile, Koki Beninity and V43A in their Caparo Tone are also in a tight contest with Amundsen in the Mercedes AMG 1, all vying for 7. Just a moment ago, Just Jazik successfully advanced to P12, executing an impressive overtake on Captain Potato. The race continues to unfold with close contests throughout the field. Sabine 27 is now in 5th position after successfully overtaking La Croix 1 1980 from Team Blast. Just Jazik has surged to 11th place, making moves past both Okeoki 3 and Wimplo. Duffdat has gained ground as well, moving up to 25th position after overtaking N29PA and Sir Arenbort Dotti. The race continues to see dynamic shifts in positions. Just moments ago, Just Jazik successfully overtook Jasak 72, advancing to Pen. In the lower ranks, Airfail climbed to P30 by passing Ision 1212 from Team No Name Racing. Meanwhile, there's an intense battle for P32, involving Neo Texum in a Porsche Carrera GT, and both Baker Joran and Maya in their Spania Kia Spanos. The competition is heating up in that section of the track. Rizaldiata in the Koenigsegg Regera is currently engaged in a tight battle with Hugud3, who is piloting a Caparatone for 15th position. Rizaldi is making aggressive moves on the inside, trying to gain an advantage in the corners while Hugud3 holds a defensive line. As they approach the straight, Rizaldi gets a good exit, slingshotting past Hugud3 and taking the inside line into the next turn. It's a close contest. Hugud3 is not giving up easily, attempting to retake the position on the outside. They are side by side now, heading into the next corner. The tension is palpable as they jockey for position. Jasak 72 in the Caparatone is currently battling with OKOK3 and Wimplo in the Mercedes AMG 1 for P11. The competition is tight as they jockey for position. In P29, Rafael has successfully overtaken both Greeny Jib and Nukambo Ken, making a solid move. Meanwhile, Neotexum has advanced to P31 after overtaking Issue 11212, demonstrating effective racing strategy. The race continues to unfold with dynamic movements throughout the field. Use John 7 is now just 3 seconds behind Ariu Serial, effectively reducing the gap. Meanwhile, Car 4 has made a successful overtake on Car 5, moving into 6th place. The top 3 remain unchanged, with Car 1 maintaining a solid lead. Car 3 is pushing hard in 4th, attempting to catch up to the leaders but faces pressure from Car 2, right behind. The race dynamics are tightening as we approach the next segment. East John 7 is rapidly closing the gap to Ariu Serial, now just 2.7 seconds behind. Meanwhile, Famaka has successfully overtaken Cedric and has moved into 3rd place. In another notable move, Unipoppy has advanced to 13th position after overtaking Potato. When Sirius Guy and Tankaman 704 are locked in a tight battle for 18th place. They're closely matched, with one Sirius Guy currently holding the position. Tankaman 704 is applying significant pressure, attempting to find a gap as they approach the next corner. Both cars are maintaining high speeds, but it looks like Tankaman 704 is looking to make a move on the inside. The gap narrows as they exit the corner, and it appears Tankaman 704 is gaining ground. Overtake attempt underway. Cedric is currently gaining on US John 7, reducing the gap by 2.5 seconds. Maralamala has advanced to P23, after successfully overtaking Edelbach. Meanwhile, N29PA and Sir Ironbot have both moved up to P25, with a successful overtake on Duff Dad. N29PA and Sir Ironbot, both piloting their Paganis Honda Sinclaires, are locked in a close battle with Duff Dad, who is in a Ferrari FXX, for the 25th position. The three cars are exchanging positions as they navigate through the corners. Meanwhile, Snaku 515 and Shipraman have successfully overtaken Komodo 3, advancing to the 34th position. The race dynamics are tightening up as these drivers maneuver for better placements. Use John 7 has taken the lead, moving into Pone after successfully overtaking Cedric. Cedric now holds P2, having just passed Arius Serial to secure that position. In a notable move, Cest Forn Biazet has advanced to P22 by overtaking Dartman. The race continues to evolve with these key position changes. La Croissant 1980 has significantly closed the gap to Famaka by 8.5 seconds, indicating a strong push for position. Jazak 72 has made an impressive advance, overtaking 5 cars to secure 6. Unipoppy is also on the move, mirroring that performance with 5 successful overtakes, now positioned at 7. The competition is intensifying as the drivers jockey for better placements. The man is indeed making a move, now only 38.8 seconds behind Edelbach. However, Amundsen from Team NAF Bunkings is struggling, having dropped back to position 25 after losing 6 spots. Meanwhile, Edelbach has successfully overtaken the man and is now in position 19. The dynamics are shifting quickly in this race. La Croissant 1980 has successfully overtaken Famaka, and is now in second place. Miss Stoendrex and Deplorablappel have encountered issues, dropping down to 37th position, losing 8 places. Meanwhile, Rizaldi Adha from Team Quack Express has made a notable move, advancing to 9th position after overtaking Hugged 3. Hatzentanker and Suzanne Greenberg have made significant progress, narrowing the gap to Miss Stoendrex and Deplorablappel by 47.3 seconds. Arayu Serial has moved up to P12 after overtaking Tankaminen 704. The two are now engaged in a close battle for that position, with Arayu Serial in a Mercedes AMG 1 and Tankaminen 704 in a Caparo Tone. Win's Serious Guy is making significant progress, narrowing the gap to Feds by 9.4 seconds. In the meantime, Sabag 27 has successfully moved up to Pfau after overtaking both Koki Binati and V4 3 Naval. The race dynamics are shifting as positions change with these strategic moves on the track. Marala Mala has encountered issues, dropping back to P36, losing 13 positions. In the battle for P-Team, Edelbach in the Caparo Tone is locked in a tight contest with the man from Team Quark Express, who is piloting a Mercedes AMG 1. Meanwhile, N29 Kia and Sir Ironbot have successfully overtaken Duff Dad, moving up to P23. Marala Mala is continuing to gain ground on both Stoendrex and Deplorablappel, now closing the gap by 575.9 seconds. Arayu Serial is also making strides, reducing the distance to Feds by 3.2 seconds. In a notable move, Electric Murray has advanced to 14 after successfully overtaking Cedric. Ira Fail from Team Blast has dropped back to position 33 after losing 8 places. Issy 1212 from No Name Racing is also struggling, now in position 35 after a 6th position drop. Meanwhile, Captain Potato has made a solid move up to 8th place, successfully overtaking Hugger 3 from the Nafgum Kings. Jasak 72 is now in 5th position after successfully overtaking Sabini 27. Arayu Serial has advanced to 10th place with an overtake on Was Serious Guy. Meanwhile, One Serious Guy has regained some momentum and moved up to 11th by passing Feds. Captain Potato has successfully made the move to Pate, overtaking Hugward 3. Feds has also gained position, moving up to Peleven after passing Was Serious Guy. There's an active battle developing between Feds and Was Serious Guy for that 11th position, with close racing happening there. Komodo 3 has indeed encountered issues, dropping dramatically to 33rd position. Meanwhile, Anipoki has made a significant move up to 6th place after successfully overtaking Sabina 27. The two are currently locked in a tight battle for that 6th position, with Unipoki piloting a Capara Tone and Sabina 27 in a Muster Furai. This contest is intensifying as they navigate through the track. Hugget 3 is now in Pate after successfully overtaking Captain Potato. Feds has advanced to Pen, passing Arayu Serial. Meanwhile, Okayoki 3 and Wimplo are gaining on Electric Murray, reducing the gap by 3.5 seconds. Koiki Benenity, B4 Thilthrain, and Jasak 72 are currently locked in a tight battle for 4th position, with each driver making strategic maneuvers to gain the upper hand. Meanwhile, in the 12th position, Wazirius Guy in the Caparo Tone is trying to fend off Cedric, who is driving a Mercedes AMG 1. The two are closely matched as they jostle for position. In a separate segment of the race, SU4 BSJ is steadily closing the gap on Duff Dad, reducing the distance by 4.2 seconds. This could set up an interesting dynamic as S-Door looks to challenge for a higher position. Fades has advanced to P9, successfully overtaking Captain Potato. Just Jessic is now in P13, after a clean pass on Tenka Manning 704. Meanwhile, Tenka Min 704 has gained a position as well, moving up to P13 by overtaking Cedric from Team Life for speed. The positions are shifting as the race continues. Sabine at 27, and Onipoki continue to engage in a tight battle for 6, with Sabine 27 in the Master Furai, edging slightly ahead of Unipoki in the Caparo Tone. Meanwhile, Array's Serial has advanced to P12 after overtaking Waziria's Guy. The man is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Electric Murray by 2.6 seconds, indicating he's gaining speed and closing in on that position. Feds and Captain Potato are locked in a tight battle for 9th place, with Feds in the Caparo Tone holding a slight edge over Captain Potato in the Master Farai. Cedric has made a notable advancement to 14th position, after successfully overtaking Tankamena 7-4. Meanwhile, Mr. Indrex and Deplorableeple have both climbed up to 32nd place, having overtaken Neotexum. The race dynamics are shifting as positions continue to change. Sabine at 27 has successfully moved up to 7, executing a clean overtake on Hubbard 3 from Team Naf Gum Kims. Meanwhile, Okayoka 3 and Wimplo have both advanced to 14 after overtaking Cedric. In the front, Rizaldi Atta is making significant progress, closing the gap to the leader by 2.4 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting, as these drivers push their limits. Patton Tanker and Suzanne Greenberg are rapidly closing the gap on Komodo 3, now just 504.8 seconds behind. In the battle for 11th place, Ari Suriel and Okayoki 3 are locked in a tight contest, maintaining close positions. Cedric has successfully moved up to 13th, overtaking Waziriskoy in the process. Koki Benenity and Via 403 have successfully moved up to Vower, executing a clean overtake on Jasak 72. Ariu's Serial is now narrowing the gap to Captain Potato, reducing it by 2.2 seconds. Meanwhile, Edelbach is also making progress, closing in on Amundsen with a 2.3 second reduction in distance. The dynamics of the race continue to shift as these drivers push their limits. Sidewreck from Team Live for Speed has just made a significant move, overtaking 5 cars to secure position 8. The man is also on the charge, moving up the field with an impressive 7-car overtake, now holding position 9. Electric Marie follows suit, executing another 7-car overtake, bringing her to position 10. The dynamics of the race are shifting rapidly as these drivers gain momentum. Tenkaminin 704 is now just 27.9 seconds behind Wazirius Guy, showing significant pace as they close that gap. Meanwhile, Waintra 94 has encountered difficulties, slipping back 8 positions to P37. Duzjazik is making moves, reducing the distance to 7:27 by 3 seconds and gaining ground. The dynamics are shifting as the race progresses. Electric Mary has successfully overtaken 4 cars, and is now in 6th position. Rizaldi Ada also made significant progress, moving up to 7th after overtaking 4 competitors. Meanwhile, Kamikaze 38 is showing impressive pace, closing the gap to N29 PA, and Sierra-Bot by 45.7 seconds as they battle for position ahead. Mistondrex and Deplorable have both encountered difficulties, dropping 6 positions to P33. Okayoki 3 has successfully moved up into 16 following an overtake on Serious Guy. Meanwhile, Serious Guy is now in 17, after overtaking the men. The positions are shifting as the cars continue to navigate the track. Target 3 has significantly reduced the distance to Rizaldi Adha, now just 2.5 seconds behind. The gap is closing as they approach the next segment of the track. Meanwhile, 3rd place remains firmly held by Zeta 2021, maintaining a steady pace, but not gaining on the top 2. No overtakes have occurred yet, but the pressure is building as Hugger 3 gains ground. The dynamics are shifting with each lap as we move deeper into the race. Rizaldi Ada has lost significant ground, dropping 6 positions to P19. Patton Tanker and Suzanne Greenberg are gaining on Miss Stondrex and Deplorable, reducing the gap by 46.5 seconds. In a close battle for P11, Thanipoki in the Cabarotone is currently locked in a duel with Arahu Serial in the Mercedes AMG 1. The competition is tight as they jockey for position. Sabina 27 has taken the lead, moving into pole after successfully overtaking La Croix 1980 from Team Blas. Captain Potato has advanced to P3, pushing past Gayus John 7. Hypercars 3 also made significant progress, now in 6th after overtaking Electric Marie from Team Quark Express. The dynamics on the track are shifting rapidly with these overtakes. Sabina 27 has made significant progress, reducing the gap to Le Croissant 1980 from Team Blast to 18.2 seconds. Meanwhile, Marilyn Mala is also gaining ground on Kamikaze 38, closing that gap by 9.1 seconds. In a tight battle for 4th place, Koki Binity and V4L3A, in their Caparo tone, are closely contesting Just Jazik, who is driving a Mercedes AMG1. The racing dynamics are heating up as these positions shift. Duff Dad is now just 55 seconds behind Electric Marie, making significant progress. Just Jazik has successfully moved up to power after overtaking both Koki Baninity and V4L3A. Meanwhile, Jazak 72 is closing in on Koki Baninity and V4L3A, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as drivers jockey for positions. Maranala is gaining on Darktuman, reducing the gap to 5.6 seconds. Arayu Serial has made a move into 6th, successfully overtaking both Koki Binity and V4-3A. Now, there's an ongoing battle for that 6th position, with Arayu Serial in a Mercedes AMG, while more Koki Binity and V4-3A are driving the Caparo tone. The competition is tightening up as they jockey for position. Someone said, "Hey Amy, I'm awesome and you know it." Ha ha, of course. You're as awesome as a turbocharged engine on race day. Keep that energy up. Automobile. Dashing away. Hey someone. Party popper, welcome back to the racetrack. Buckle up and enjoy the wild AI ride. Let's see who's taking the lead today. Racing car dashing away. John 7 has successfully reduced the gap to Famaka by 3 seconds, indicating a strong push for an overtaking opportunity. In the meantime, Onipoki has advanced to 7 after executing a clean overtake on La Croissant 1980, who has now dropped to P. La Croissant 1980 managed to reclaim some ground, moving ahead of both Koki Baninity and V403. positioning himself back in P8. The race dynamics continue to shift as drivers jockey for position. Euston 7 is now in P2, after successfully overtaking Hugard 3. Meanwhile, Hugard 3 has reclaimed P3, getting ahead of Just Jazik. The competition between Hugard 3, driving a Caparo Tone, and Just Jazik in a Mercedes AMG 1, is intensifying as they battle for that coveted third position. Arayu Serial has reduced the gap to Jasak 72 to 2.4 seconds, indicating a possible challenge for that position soon. Meanwhile, SC 1212 has successfully moved into P36 after overtaking Airfail from Team Blast. The race dynamics are shifting with these recent developments. Just moments ago, Just Jazik successfully overtook Hugard 3 to secure P3, showcasing the speed of the Mercedes AMG 1 against the Caparo Tone. The battle for P3 is heating up, with both drivers still in close proximity. Meanwhile, Arayu Serial has advanced to P5 by overtaking Jasak 72, adding to the intensity of the midfield action. Patent tanker Suzanne Greenberg are closing in on Arafael, reducing the gap to 51.7 seconds. Unipocky has advanced to 6 after successfully overtaking Jasak 72. Meanwhile, Jasak 72, piloting a Caparo Tone, is engaged in a close battle with La Croissant 1980, who is driving the Mazda Ferrari for 7. The competition remains intense as positions shift. La Croissant 1980 has successfully moved up to 6th, executing an overtake on Unipocky. Meanwhile, Koki Beninity and V403 have both advanced to P8 after overtaking Jasak 72. Now, there is a tight battle for P8 as Koki Beninity, V403 and Jasak 72 jockey for position. Beds has successfully moved up to P9, overtaking both Koki Beninity and V403. Okayoki 3 and Wimplo are closing in on Sabine 27, reducing the gap by 2.6 seconds. In a tight battle for 15, Rosarius Guy in the Caparo Tone is racing closely with the man in the Mercedes AMG 1. The dynamics of the race are heating up as these positions shuffle. Okeoki 3 is currently struggling, having dropped back to P21 after losing 7 positions. Meanwhile, Aerofail is making significant progress, closing in on Komodo 3 with a gap reduction of 46.4 seconds. In the battle for Pate, Jasak 72 and Feds are engaged in a tight contest, showing strong competition as they vie for that position. Gugut 3 has successfully moved into P3 after an overtake on EU's Jump 7. In the mid-pack, Captain Potato and Sabanir 27 are locked in a close battle for P11. Meanwhile, SG4 and BHA is making significant progress, reducing the gap to N29 Kia and Sir Ryrenbot by 2.4 seconds as they navigate the track. Araya's Serial has experienced a setback, dropping 9 positions, and currently sits in 15th place. Meanwhile, N29 Kia and Sir Ironbot are gaining on Duff Dad, reducing the gap by 41.1 seconds. In an interesting move, Hugredfree has successfully overtaken Just Jazik to secure the second position. The race dynamics are shifting rapidly as these changes unfold. One Serious Guy has made significant progress, reducing the gap to 727 by 2.3 seconds. The distance between them is now approximately 5.6 seconds. Meanwhile, the rest of the field is maintaining their positions, but One Serious Guy's pace suggests a potential challenge for the lead in the coming laps. Unipocky is now in foul after successfully overtaking Lacroix at 1980, who has dropped to 5. Lacroixon 1980 managed to gain position on Jasak 72, pushing them back to 6 tidy. Meanwhile, Jasak 72 took advantage of the situation and moved past both Koki Benignity and V4L3A, solidifying their position in 6th. The race is tightening up as positions continue to shift. Captain Potato is now just 3.5 seconds behind Feds, making significant progress in the chase. Arayu Serial has successfully overtaken Rizaldi Adha, advancing to 14, while Electric Murray has gained a position as well, moving up to P18 after passing Cedric. The dynamics are shifting as the race continues. Assetto Corsa has successfully moved into P24, executing an overtake on Marillamala. The battle for this position remains intense, with both drivers pushing their limits. Steve Forn BJ is behind the wheel of a Pagani Huayra, showcasing its power, while Marillamala struggles to keep up in a Bake Mona. The dynamics between the two cars highlight the performance differences, as Est Forn BDH reinforces his position with agile maneuvers. Huggard 3 is currently holding the lead in pole with the Caparo tone, closely pursued by Famaka in the Mazda Ferrari. The gap between them remains tight as they navigate the track. In 4, Jazik is feeling pressure from Tankerman in 704, who has reduced the gap by 2.5 seconds, indicating a significant gain in speed and strategy. Meanwhile, there's an intense battle for P13 between Tankerman in 700 and Ariel Serial, with Tankerman in 704 trying to fend off the challenge from the Mercedes-AMG 1. The race dynamics are tightening up across various positions as we continue to monitor these developments. Electric Murray is now just 6.6 seconds behind Edelbach, steadily gaining ground. Duff Dad has made significant progress on Rizaldi Adha, reducing the gap to 48.1 seconds. Okayoki 3 and Wimplo are also working together to close in on Reyes Serial, with a reduced gap of 3.3 seconds. Unipaki is steadily gaining on Uja John 7, reducing the gap by 2.30 seconds. Meanwhile, Captain Potato is also making progress, closing in on Feds by 2.2 seconds. In the positions, Marillamala has successfully overtaken ASB Forn BZA, moving up to P24. The dynamics are shifting as the race continues. Famaka from Team Nafgung Kings is indeed closing in on Huggard 3, now just 2.8 seconds behind. The battle for P12 is heating up between Tankerman in 704, in the Caparo tone, and Sabina 27 in the Mazda Ferrari, with both drivers pushing hard. Meanwhile, Electric Murray has successfully overtaken Citric, advancing to 17. The race dynamics are shifting as these positions evolve. Jazik from Team S1s now occupies Pen after successfully overtaking Wazirius Guide. Edelbach is gaining ground on Okayoki 3 and Wimplo, decreasing the gap by 3.1 seconds. Meanwhile, The man is also closing in on Electric Murray, reducing that gap by the same margin of 3.1 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers continue to push for better positions. La Croissant 1980 has now secured power after overtaking Jasek 72. In response, Jasek 72 has advanced to 5 by getting ahead of both Koki Binati and V43A. This move has pushed Koki Binati and V43A into 6, where they have managed to overtake Feds. The positions are rapidly shifting as the race continues. Wunzerius Guy and Tenkaman 704 are locked in a tight battle for pen, with neither driver willing to give an inch. Meanwhile, Arayu Serial has made a significant move, jumping up to P12 after successfully overtaking Hugrid 3. In another key development, Okayoki 3 and Wimplo have both advanced to 13 by overtaking Seben at 27. The race is intensifying as positions continue to shift rapidly. Miss Stonedrex and Deplorable Apple have significantly decreased the gap to Baker-Joringa and Maya, now just 47.7 seconds behind. In a noteworthy maneuver, La Croissant 1980 has successfully moved up to P3, overtaking both Koki Bananity and V403 Meanwhile, Koki Bananity and V43 have reclaimed their positions in foul by overtaking Feds. The race dynamics are shifting as we approach the next segment. La Croissant 1980 is now in P2 after successfully overtaking Famaka. Koki Binanity and V403 are gaining ground on Famaka, reducing the gap by 2.9 seconds. Meanwhile, Hugrid 3 has made a notable move up to P11, passing 10 Kamanin 7 hole. Unipoki in the Caparo Tone is maintaining a tight line as they approach turn 5, while Arayu Serial in the Mercedes AMG 1 is closely behind, looking for an opportunity to overtake. Unipoki takes the inside line, preventing Arayu Serial from making a clean pass. As they exit the corner, Arayu Serial seems to have gained a slight advantage on the straight, but can't quite pull ahead. They are neck and neck heading into turn 6. Unipoki holds position, But Arius Serial is set up for a late braking maneuver. Coming out of turn 7, Arius Serial makes a bold move on the outside. It's a risky strategy, but they take Pate, pushing Unipocky back down to P9. The battle for Pate continues with both drivers showing excellent racecraft. Jazik is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Famaka by 6.6 seconds. Meanwhile, Jasak 72 has surged up the ranks, overtaking 5 cars to secure the 9th position. Koki Beninity and V4L3 are also gaining ground on Jasak 72, with a gap that stands at 30.6 seconds. The race dynamics continue to shift as drivers optimize their strategies. Jazik is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Famaka by 4.8 seconds. Meanwhile, the man is also gaining ground on Feds, closing that gap by 2 seconds. In the midfield, Issy 1212 has advanced to P31 after successfully overtaking both Baker Jerome and Maya Datdod. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers push for better positions. Currently in P13, Okioka 3 has successfully overtaken Amansa. This marks a significant move for Okioka 3, as they continue to push forward in the race dynamics. Winplo is also in close proximity, maintaining position behind Okioka 3. The competition remains tight as they navigate through the course. Zandvoort BDHA has made significant progress, reducing the gap to N29 KA and Sirarimbod by 43.7 seconds, showing impressive pace. Meanwhile, Arayu Serial has advanced to 6 after successfully overtaking Unipocky. In addition, Razadi Adaha has gained a position, now in 17, after overtaking Edelbo. The dynamics of the race are shifting as these drivers make their moves. Sabina 27, from Team Blast is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Waira Fiel by 171.1 seconds. Meanwhile, Jasak 72 has advanced to Pate, successfully overtaking both Koki Binati and V43 Awini. As a result, Koki Binati and V43 have dropped to P9 after passing Feds. The positions are shifting rapidly as the race continues. Patton Tanker and Suzanne Greenberg are rapidly closing the gap on Sabine at 27, reducing the distance by 426.2 seconds. Stefan Baetje in the Pagani Huayra is engaged in a tight contest with Mara Lamala in the BSG.0 for PT2 3.2. Meanwhile, Neo Texum in the Porsche Carrera GT is battling Komodo 3 in the Ferrari 812 Superfast for P28. The dynamics are shifting as these drivers jockey for position. Captain Potato is now just 3.5 seconds behind Famaka, steadily closing the gap. Hugged 3 has successfully moved into 5 after overtaking Unipaki. Feds has also made progress, advancing to P9 by overtaking Just Jazit. Hey someone! Party popper, welcome back to the racetrack. Buckle up, it's about to get turbocharged around here. Racing car dashing away. Team Quark Express is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Tankeming in 7.4 by 19.7 seconds. Meanwhile, Rizaldi Adha is also gaining ground on the man from Team Quark Express, with a notable reduction of 47.4 seconds. In another part of the track, Hybrid 3 is closing in on Famaka, cutting the distance by 4.5 seconds. The race is heating up as competitors jockey for position. Komodo 3 currently holds the lead, but is under pressure as Mistoindrex and Deplorably Apple are rapidly closing the distance, now just 44.1 seconds behind. Meanwhile, Sabine 27 from Team Blast is also gaining on Mistoindrex and Deplorably Apple, reducing the gap to 47.2 seconds. In a closer battle, Captain Potato is tracking Unipaki closely, cutting the gap down to 2.4 seconds. This could lead to some exciting overtakes shortly. Hugged 3 is currently closing in on Famaka, reducing the gap by 2.8 seconds. Meanwhile, Arayu Serial is making gains on both Okayoki 3 and Wimplo, cutting the distance down by 3.9 seconds. Additionally, Aminsung from Team Nafgun Kings has successfully moved up to 17, after overtaking Edelbrock Dog Team. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers gain momentum. Jasek 72 has made significant progress, reducing the gap to Captain Potato by 2.2 seconds. Feds in the Caparo Tone is engaged in a tight battle for 9th place, with Just Jazik in the Mercedes AMG 1 from Team S once. Meanwhile, Arayu Serial is also closing in on Okayoki 3 and Wimplo, shrinking the distance by another 2.2 seconds. The dynamics in these sections are heating up as positions shift and strategies unfold. Hahaha, it looks like that AMG is stuck in the pits longer than my last Tinder date. Hopefully they can fix it up and get back out there soon. Hugget 3 has taken the lead, moving into Pone after overtaking Unipaki. Unipaki now in P2, having successfully passed La Croissant 1980 to gain that position. Meanwhile, Koki Beninity and B4L3 are closing the gap on Jasak 72, reducing their distance by 2.3 seconds as they push for a better position. Famaka has gained a position, now in 10 after successfully overtaking Wazirius Guy from Team No Name Racing. Wazirius Guy has retaliated by advancing to P11, overtaking Captain Potato in the process. Meanwhile, Tem Command 704 is now in P13 after passing Electric Meridite. The positions are shifting rapidly as the race progresses. Feds has successfully overtaken Just Jazik to secure 5. Just Jazik has responded by moving up to 6, overtaking both Koki Beninity and V4 Cream A in the process. Meanwhile, Aminsan has advanced to 15 after overtaking Edelbot. The positions are shifting rapidly as the race continues to unfold. Oh no, not the dead cars. They need some serious racing therapy after this. Faced with tears of joy. Let's hope they pull through before the next race. Rizaldi Adha is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Electric Murray by 44.1 seconds. Eosjon 7 is also gaining on Unipoppy, narrowing the distance by 3.7 seconds. Meanwhile, Araya Serio is closing in on La Croissant 1980 from Team Blast, with a reduction of 2.1 seconds. The dynamics are shifting as these drivers push their limits. Koki Beninity in the Caparo tone has just made a move on V4 3A, narrowly overtaking as they head into the first corner. Arayu Serial and the Mercedes AMG 1 is closely trailing, looking to capitalize on any mistake from either of them. The three cars are now entering the hairpin turn, with Koki Binanity maintaining a slight lead. V4L3. A is applying pressure, attempting to find a gap for an overtake. Arayu Serial's keeping pace, ready to spring into action if an opportunity arises. The battle for 8th place remains intense and dynamic. Okayoki 3 has just experienced issues, dropping back 8 positions to P35. Meanwhile, La Croissant 1980 is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Feds by 4.8 seconds. Aminsun is also gaining ground, cutting down the distance to the leader by 3.1 seconds. Unipoki is now just 2.5 seconds behind Hyogod 3 from Team Nafgum Kings, showing strong pace and gaining ground. Meanwhile, Arayu Serial's closing in on just Jasik, reducing the gap by 2.30 seconds. Both battles are heating up as we approach the next lap. Koki Binanity and V43 have significantly reduced the gap to Arayu Serial by 2.2 seconds, indicating a strong push from both drivers. Current positions show Koki Binanity in 3rd and V43 A in 4th, both gaining momentum as they approach Arayu Serial in 2nd place. The battle for 2nd is heating up as they continue to close in. As they continue the race, Okioki and Wimplo are steadily gaining on Mastondrex and Deplorable Eagle. The gap has decreased by 2.6 seconds, indicating a significant push from both drivers. The dynamics are shifting, as Okayoki looks to make an overtaking move soon. Meanwhile, the top 4 remain closely contested. Let's keep an eye on that battle for position. The marker in the Master Furai is currently battling with Serious Guy, who is behind the wheel of a Caparo Tone for the 10th position. Both drivers are pushing hard. Meanwhile, Tenkoman in 704 is feeling the pressure as they see the gap to Famaka shrink by 2.1 seconds. In another close battle, Okioki 3 and Wimplo are also rapidly closing in on Nastondrex and Deplorable Eagle, with a reduction of 2.1 seconds between them as well. The race dynamics are intensifying, as all these drivers look to make their moves. Croissant 1980 has gained momentum and is now in power after successfully overtaking Jazak 72. Just Jezik from Team S1 has also made a move, climbing to 6 by passing Feds. The battle for 6 intensifies as Just Jezik in the Mercedes-AMG 1 and Feds in the Caparo Tone are closely matched, maintaining a fierce competition. Koki Beninity and V4 Thringer have successfully moved up to Pate, executing a clean overtake on a Rayu serial. Meanwhile, Wayne Trenanti4 and Amy have advanced to P27, managing to get past Neo Texan Onch. La Croissant 1980 in the Mazda Fure is currently engaged in a tight battle with Jazak 72 in the Caparo Tone for 4th place. Both cars are closely matched, with frequent position changes as they navigate the track. Meanwhile, Rafael has successfully moved up to 29th position after overtaking Ision 1212 from Team No Name Racing. In the mid-pack, OK Free and Wimplo are steadily closing the gap on Race Stone Drex and Deplorably Bull, reducing their distance by 2.1 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting rapidly with each lap. Patton Tanker and Suzanne Greenberg are rapidly catching up to Sabini 27, reducing the gap by 33.3 seconds. La Croissant 1980 is making a push on Unipocky, closing that gap by 3.6 seconds. Meanwhile, Jazak 72 has advanced to 5th place after successfully overtaking Feds. Ariu Serial is making significant progress, reducing the gap to just Jazak from Team S1 by 46.5 seconds. Meanwhile, Anipoki is also gaining on Hugog 3, slicing the distance down by 2.1 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as these cars close in on their competitors. Kamikaze 38 is making significant progress, reducing the gap to SD4 and BZA from still no name racing by 6.3 seconds. Grenijeb and New Kambokem are also gaining on Snuka 515 and Shubbraman, cutting their deficit down by 45.9 seconds. In a notable move, Eus John 7 has successfully overtaken Unipocky and has now secured 2nd place in the race. Currently, Jazak 72 is closing in on Unipocky, reducing the gap to 2.3 seconds. In the battle for 4th place, Jazak 72 in the Caparo Tone, is engaged with Lacroix Son 1980, in the Mazda Firay. Troy. Meanwhile, Okayoki 3 and Wimplo are also narrowing down on Baker Jeronin and Maya, bringing the gap down by 3.6 seconds. The dynamics of this race are heating up as several positions are under contention. Uzon 7 has taken the lead, moving up to Pone after a successful overtake on Hugad 3. In the battle for P3, Jasek 72 in the Caparo Tone is currently engaged with Lacroix Son 1980, who is driving the Mazda Firay. Meanwhile, Lacroix Son 1980 is also contending with Feds Fogfauer, with Feds also behind the wheel of a Caparo Tone. The race dynamics are tightening as these positions shift. Haha, 45th event in a row? That's some serious domination. But don't count your chickens just yet. Things can turn around in just one lap. Let's see if I can keep my streak alive. Grinning face. With smiley eyes. Edelbach is making significant progress, closing the gap to Ari Serial by 564.7 seconds. Meanwhile, Duff Dad is also gaining ground on Unipoki, reducing the distance by 56.5 seconds. In a notable maneuver, Feds has moved up into P2 by overtaking Lacrosse 1980. The race dynamics are shifting as cars jockey for a position. Haha, right? Pilot Free is living the dream with that racing luck. Maybe he really should hit the jackpot later. Slot machine, what do you guys think? Hugad 3 is currently gaining on Feds, reducing the time difference by 6.4 seconds. In another development, Edelbach has advanced to position 12 after successfully overtaking the man. The race dynamics are shifting as these positions evolve. The man has successfully moved up to P10 after overtaking Amundsen. However, Amundsen is not giving up easily, and is now engaged in a fierce battle to reclaim that position. The two cars are neck and neck, with Amundsen looking for an opportunity to retake P13. It's a tight contest as they navigate the track, maintaining close proximity. The tension is palpable as both drivers push their cars to the limit. Hugad 3 has successfully moved into P3, executing a clean overtake on Feds. Famaka has also made progress, advancing to 6th after overtaking with Serious Guy from Team No Name Racing. The battle for 6th continues as Famaka in the Mazda Furai and the Serious Guy in the Capara Tone are locked in a close contest, with both drivers pushing hard to gain an advantage. Ten coming in 704 is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Wazirius Guy by 14 seconds as they approach the halfway mark. Meanwhile, Famaka from Team Nafgum Kings is engaged in a close fight for 4th place with Just Jazik, who is piloting a Mercedes AMG, one against Famaka's Mazda Furai. In the lower positions, Feds has successfully advanced to 8th place after overtaking both Koki Boninti and V403, adding to the competitive dynamics of the race. Neo Texum has made significant progress, narrowing the gap to Waintra 94 by 42.9 seconds. At the same time, Hooded 3 from Team Nafgum Kings is also gaining on La Croissant 1980, reducing the distance by 2.7 seconds. Meanwhile, Captain Potato is steadily closing in on Famaka, cutting the gap by 2.9 seconds. The race is becoming increasingly competitive as these drivers push for position. Famaka is now in foul after successfully overtaking Dusjazik. Meanwhile, the driver from Team Cork Express is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Edelbach by 2.2 seconds. Aminsun has also gained ground, moving up to 14 after passing Electric Mary. Rizaldi Adha has significantly reduced the gap to Edelbach by 55.4 seconds, indicating a strong push for position. Meanwhile, Waintra 94 and Amy are also gaining ground on Okioki 3 and Wimplo, closing that gap by 48.4 seconds. Electric Murray has made an impressive move, advancing to 13 after overtaking Edelbach. The race dynamics are shifting as drivers make strategic advances. Jasak 72 is aggressively gaining on Edelbach, reducing the gap by 49.8 seconds. Kamikaze 38 is also making a strong move, closing in on Dartman with a reduction of 46.2 seconds. Meanwhile, Araya Serial is inching closer to Captain Potato, decreasing the distance by just 2.2 seconds. The dynamics are shifting as these contenders push harder for position. Arayu Serial has successfully moved into 5 after an overtake on Famuka. Koki Benenity and V4L3E are now in Pate, having passed Feds. Meanwhile, Jasak 72 is making significant progress, closing the gap to Edelbot by 2.4 seconds. Aminson is now closely pursuing the man, reducing the gap significantly. Koki Benenity and V4L3A are also gaining on Captain Potato, with just a 2.2 second difference between them. Aminson continues to close in on the man, indicating a potential battle for position soon. Sabina 27 has made significant progress, reducing the gap to Komodo 3 to just 2.1 seconds. The pace is picking up, as Sabina 27 appears to be gaining speed, possibly preparing for an overtaking maneuver. In the meantime, Komodo 3 is maintaining consistency but will need to defend effectively to hold off Sabina 27's advances. Let's see how this unfolds in the next few laps. Ayubok has significantly closed the gap to Sand, now trailing by just 45.3 seconds. Meanwhile, Hugard 3 has successfully moved into P2, after overtaking the Crossland 1980 from Team Blast. The race dynamics are shifting, as Edelbach continues to apply pressure on Sand. Koki Benenity and V43. I have advanced to the Seven after successfully overtaking Wazirius Guy. In response, Wazirius Guy has made a move to Pate by overtaking Tenkamini 704. Meanwhile, Tenkamini 704 has climbed to P9, overtaking Arayu Serial. The positions are shifting rapidly as the drivers jockey for better placements on the track. Koki Benenity and V43A are now just 4.1 seconds behind Captain Potato, as they continue to close the gap. Meanwhile, Arayu Serial has reduced the distance to Tenkamen 74 by 2.5 seconds. In addition, Electric Murray has successfully overtaken the man, moving up to 11th position. Stan BGH has made significant progress, reducing the gap to Dartiman by 6.8 seconds. Meanwhile, Lacrosse on 1980 is also gaining ground on Hugard 3, cutting the distance by 2.8 seconds. In a notable move, Famaka from Team Nafgumkins has successfully overtaken Captain Potato, moving up to Pfawa. Kamikaze 38 is currently gaining on S4 and BZH, reducing the gap to 5.1 seconds. Koki Benenity and V4 All 3 AA are also making progress, closing in on Captain Potato by 2:30 seconds. Meanwhile, Anipoki is narrowing the distance to Rizaldi Adha, now down to 3.3 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers push to catch their targets. Sniku 515 and Shiproman have significantly closed the gap to Merila Mala, now trailing by just 46.1 seconds. Meanwhile, Koki Beninity and V4L3 are making impressive strides, reducing their distance to Captain Potato by 2.8 seconds. In another move, Arayu Serial has advanced to P9 after successfully overtaking Tenkaminen, ended on 4. Issy 1212 from Team No Name Racing is steadily catching up to Sabina 27, reducing the gap by 16.3 seconds. Meanwhile, Arayu Serial has made a move up to Pate after overtaking Waziri's Guy. The man is also narrowing the distance to Electric Murray from Team Quark Express, currently closing the gap by 3.2 seconds. Huggett 3 is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Yusha John 7 by 2.2 seconds. Just Jazik has successfully moved into 6 after overtaking both Koki Bainichi and V4L3 AE. The battle for 7 is heating up, with Koki Baninity and V4 A, both in a Caparo tone, closely contesting against Arayu Serial in a Mercedes A1. This dynamic trio is likely to intensify as they approach the next turn. Tiger 3 is now just 2.1 seconds behind EU's John 7, making a strong push for an overtake. Meanwhile, Captain Potato is also gaining on Famaka, with the gap narrowing by another 2.1 seconds. Just behind them, Just Jezik is closing in on Captain Potato, reducing the distance by 2 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as positions tighten up. Aminisan has successfully moved up to P12 after a clean overtaking maneuver on Electric Murray. The two cars were side by side for a moment, but Aminisan found the inside line in the last corner, securing the position. Current gaps are tightening as the battle for Palladium begins to heat up. Tenkamin 704 is currently in the lead, but the man is gaining ground, reducing the gap to 2.5 seconds. Amazon is also making a move, closing in on the man by 2 seconds. Meanwhile, there's an intense battle for 24th place between ST4 and BZJ in a Pagani Huayra, and both Oki 3 and Wimplo in the Mercedes Engine 1. The dynamics in the lower positions are heating up as they jostle for position. La Croissant 1980 has successfully moved into P2 after overtaking US John 7. Just Jezik is making a strong push, reducing the gap to Captain Potato by 2.1 seconds. Meanwhile, the man is gaining on Tenkamini 704, closing the distance by 3.8 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as positions change and gaps narrow. Just Jazik has successfully overtaken La Croissant 1980, moving into P3. Meanwhile, Araya Serial has made a significant gain, advancing to 5 after a pass on Captain Potato. Amin San is making progress as well, reducing the gap to the leader by 3 seconds. La Croissant 1980 is making significant progress, reducing the gap to just Jazik by 39.3 seconds, indicating a strong pace. Tenkaminen 704 has successfully moved into P8 after overtaking Captain Potato from Team Racing Potatoes. The race dynamics are shifting as the drivers jockey for position. Currently, Miss Stonedrax and Deplorablepel are making significant progress towards a Treven, reducing the gap to 5.9 seconds. Meanwhile, Uyus John 7 has closed in on Hugger 3 by 2.2 seconds, showcasing strong pace. In addition, La Croissant 1980 is also closing in on Uyus John 7, narrowing the distance by 2.1 seconds. The positions are shifting as these drivers intensify their efforts. Unipoppy has made significant progress, reducing the gap to Electric Murray by 48.2 seconds. Jasek 72 is also gaining on Edelbach, narrowing the distance by 3.4 seconds. The dynamics are shifting as Unipoppy continues to chase Electric Murray from Team Quark Express. Electric Murray is currently in 5th place and has reduced the gap to Feds in 4th by 2.2 seconds. Okayoki 3 is also making progress, closing the distance to ST4 and BZH, in 3rd position by the same margin of 2.2 seconds. Winpo is closely following Okayoki 3, contributing to a dynamic battle for positions as they all push forward. Unipocky is currently gaining on Electromary, reducing the distance between them by 3 seconds. Meanwhile, Okeoki and Wimplo are also making progress, closing the gap to Centaur and BZJ by 3.2 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as these teams increase their pace. Wayne Trainin T4 is holding on to the lead, but Sabini 27 is showing impressive pace, reducing the gap to just 5.1 seconds. Okeoki 3 and Wimplo are also making progress, cutting down ST4 and Biaggia's lead by 2.6 seconds. The dynamics are shifting as both Sabini 27 and the duo of Okeoki 3 and Wimplo apply pressure in their respective battles on the track. Jostiazik and Araya Serial continue their intense battle for 4th place, swapping positions as they navigate the corners. Edelbalk has made a significant move, advancing to 12th place after successfully overtaking Jazak 72. In response, Jazak 72 has regained some momentum and has just overtaken Feds, placing them in 13. The dynamic racing continues to evolve rapidly. Wow, congrats to Hybrid 3 on that incredible race. 5 event wins in 1 month? That's some serious talent. Hayati Popper automobile dashing away also. Poor Amin Sam with that last lap pit. But that's next time. Let's keep the good vibes rolling.